all the good folks, all the people who, you know, were meant to be in the military, there wasn't a lot of them left. And I know that during my basic training in AIT, which is like advanced training for your job, we had people, the treatment of people and their standards was unbelievable. Women were, you know, like we had some people in there that were like 5'2", couldn't carry the load for themselves. We would go on ruck marches that were really 12 miles long, and they would end up falling out, and they would get put in a truck and get driven back, or they couldn't shoot what you were supposed to shoot, what the standard was, and they would pass them anyway.
Why would they pass them anyway?
Because they have to fill these spots.
Yep.
I mean, this is creating cannon fodder, basically?
This is the other thing that's happening, is that recruitment, all of the numbers are actually off. From what I know from people who are enlisted right now, is that they are using, like, shifting data to pad their numbers because they are so far behind in recruitment goals. I mean, it's not good, but once you get into the Army, they need to keep you there.
So what I've heard from a lot of people, and this goes back well before the culture war stuff, that in basic training, the men, like the clothes they give you, what are the PTs, is that what they're called? Filthy and dirty as you're like crawling through the mud. You don't wash them, you take them off, you wake up, you eat as fast as you can, you get back to it. The women would cry, complain, sit down, refuse to walk any further because it hurts too much, and then be told, don't worry, it's fine. Like you mentioned, get truck to drive them the rest of the way. They couldn't carry anything. They were mandated to be able to get showers and clean clothes every day. Yeah. And the argument was medical. Right. Women have medical reasons where they're required to have clean clothes. And so the men are being like thrown into the muck and told, figure it out. And the women are being given this like hospital 4-star treatment.
These are all reasons that I never would have joined the military.
Well, and they also...
I like showers and clean clothes.
No, you get them. Women get them. Men don't.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
They got complacent with like the low standards, a lot of the girls, and they would literally walk the 2-mile runs.
Well, like, what I was told is that if they tell the women you can't have a shower, it's discrimination based on sex because women have special needs, and so they have to get showers. And
then they shouldn't be allowed to join the military.
Right.
But if you look
and if they hold the women at the same standards as the men, well, that's sexist because men and women are different. Even though now the argument is that men and women aren't different.
Right. If you look at the is it the Bostock decision? If you look at the Bostock decision, it's sexual discrimination to not give the men showers.
Yeah,
but to give the women showers.
It would be.
That would be that's discriminatory.
Yeah. Well, the point is, whenever
everybody gets showers on the battlefield, come on, Tim.
Anything that doesn't benefit the left is discrimination until it benefits them. Then it's balanced. So, like, if you say, they'll come out and they'll say men and women are the same, therefore, you know, trans people should be in women's sports, everyone should be equal, and then you go, okay, military training, equality. That's not fair. Men and women are different. Women can't carry as much as men, so they get special treatment. It's like, wait, you just men and women weren't different. I just saying they're different. So the issue is the left simultaneously argues both positions. This is why I often say there's no morality on the left.
There is none, yeah.
The left does not have a moral position. They have a give me power. Yeah. So in the military, women don't run. Not all of them, you know, some women do.
Most.
But, right. You know, so this is an interesting point about where we're currently at in recruitment goals. It's probably worse than we realize. The military is probably just a whole bunch of like 22-year-old women with 2 moms.
Yeah.
I think it's
that's
not good.
in their advertising.
That's the
They'll throw a bonus at you, $20,000 to join, but their standards are ridiculous. And I even had a girl in front of me on one march specifically, and she was crying because the load was too much for her to carry. She was, again, like 5'2". So I tried to like lift her rucksack up with my hands the whole way there, but it's like, you can't have that kind of like situation on the battlefield, you know? And so I just think it's kind of sad that that's where we've gotten to as a country.
Yeah. I've heard arguments before that they need to revisit some of their standards, like this thing about anxiety medication, right? Like if you've taken anxiety medication during these parameters, you're disqualified from military service. So it means that some people just don't report it, or, you know, I've heard a lot of special forces people say, I just lied. I lied my way through it because I wanted really badly to make it, and I am qualified other than these sort of, you know, rules they felt were arbitrary. But in some cases, you know, the idea of being battle ready is very important. And I think we saw this with, you know, letting women in the military. The physical standard at which they are expected to meet has to be lowered because women are different biologically and physiologically than men. And so ultimately, in pursuit of what we think is best at home, are we actually putting people in foreign fields in a battle ready situation where the people around them can protect them? I just don't think so.